Hey y'all, welcome back to yet another episode of Bayou Farm Life, where we talk team roping and all things Louisiana. So today, let's take another trip down memory lane. If y'all have been here for any amount of time, you probably remember the video that I've made about my horse Lucy. While as I do owe a lot to my little horse Lucy, I also owe a lot to my other horse. And today, I would like to take y'all down memory lane with my grulla horse, and let's tell some stories, show some videos, and share our journey together. So as you all know, I rode Lucy for years and roped many cows off of her, hauled her all over the place, and she done a tremendous job for me. Well, if you know much about team roping, you know a push style horse versus a more free horse. Lucy was a push style horse, and all that means, for those of you who don't know, a push style horse is one you have to ride. They don't want to run so much. They kind of want to be a little more, I guess lazy would be the term. And that is her. You can push her and she will give you her whole entire heart. But I needed something a little more free, a little more of a step up horse, if you will. So we was breaking in some cows one day at a good buddy of mine's house, and he told me, he said, "Here, ride my horse, heel off my horse." And in all honesty, I was like, man, I don't want to. I'm going to fall off that horse. I'm used to a more slow, lazy style horse. And his horse was not. So he convinced me to get on it. And I roped the first cow off of his horse. And it was a game changer. His horse was so free, was so easy to get to position. I didn't have to ride aggressive. I could more or less focus on roping versus riding. And that right there told me, hey, you need to get another horse. I roped 3 cows, I believe, off of that horse and did not miss one. It was so easy. I was like, this is how it's supposed to be. Long story short, the next day I started looking. So a buddy of mine tagged me on Facebook on a horse that was for sale. Now this horse was in Arizona. And I'm like, man, I'm working 6 days a week. I don't have time to go to Arizona. Well, I got the message in the guy, and he was sending me videos, and I was like, he's the color I want. He is the athleticism I want. This is the horse I want. So, sight unseen, I asked the guy, can I get a vet check done on this horse? He said, absolutely, no problem. I paid for the vet check. The vet come out to this guy's place. He checked the horse. He said the horse was sound. Everything looked good. So, lucky for me, with me working 6 days a week, I had a buddy of mine that was laid off at the time, and he was looking for odd and end jobs to do. I said, man, I'll give you some cash money if you will take a trip to Arizona for me. He said, what? I said, yes. So he loaded up with his trailer and his truck. I paid for his fuel, I gave him some money, and he took off. He drove all the way to Arizona. He checked the horse out for me. He paid the man the money. He loaded the horse up, and he headed home. Now, mind you, we're in Southwest Louisiana. He had to go to Arizona. So on his way home, somewhere around the Dallas-Fort Worth area, he had some truck troubles. So he pulls into the Ford dealership to get them to hopefully have the part and hopefully fix his truck. And so he ties the horse up to the fence at the Ford dealership. So I'm welding at work, and I get a phone call from him. And this is kind of how the phone call went.
Hello?
Hey bud, I'm in Fort Worth at the Ford dealership, and I've kind of got some bad news.
Well, what's the bad news?
Well, your horse was tied up to the fence, and the lead rope come undone, and he's running across the Ford dealership in Fort Worth, Texas.
Are you for real?
Yeah, man, I'm not kidding. We just got him caught, but I had to run through the Ford dealership in my flip-flops and catch this horse.
Well, at least you got him caught, and at least he didn't get hurt.
So that was not really the phone call that I was hoping to get. Luckily, he didn't make it out in the traffic, and luckily they was able to get him caught before he damaged any trucks or got hit by a car and hurt somebody or anything. So that was the best outcome for a terrible situation. So he finally makes it home at like 11 o'clock or midnight that night, and I'm waiting for him. I load the horse with my trailer, then I go home, unload him, and feed him and get him put up. Then I go to bed and have to go to work the next day. So when I come home from work the next day, I could not help it. Didn't have time to ride him, but I at least had to saddle him. I wanted to see what he looked like with a saddle on. And I was in love. I loved it. I was so happy with my purchase. But about 2 or 3 days after I got him home, I walked out to feed and he was limping. Now, lucky enough, it was only an abscess that had blew out of his foot. So that is a common thing, and that can be healed. But I was at first absolutely crazy. Like I was stressed out. I thought I done bought a problem horse, but it was just a simple little problem. But once we got him healed up and I was able to practice a time or two off of him, away we go to the ropings. And I'm gonna tell you, we was not together. Now what I mean by not together is I'm not used to him, he's not used to me. We have completely different styles. I'm used to like I said, a more push style. He's a more free. He was used to a certain guy riding him. I was used to riding a whole different horse. So it took a little while to get used to each other. We made the best of it. We done our best, and we never give up. That's for certain. So the first few ropings didn't really go in my favor. As I said, we was trying to get used to each other. And then it started clicking with us. Now at this point, I've had him close to a year, and we decided we was gonna go to a clinic. It turns out the clinic was, we're going to do a clinic. At the end of the clinic, all of the students is going to have a jackpot. Whoever wins the jackpot, header and heeler, they get their clinic paid for free. So I was like, I need to win this thing. Well, lucky for me, I won it. My grulla horse worked amazing. He gave me the best shot I could ask for. Everything went smooth as silk. It was at that moment where me and him was really going down the road, and we was clicking, and I was winning some ropings. I was able to win several buckles. I was actually able to win my first saddle off of him. He has took me up and down the road, and he has done an excellent job for me. He was definitely the step-up horse that I need. I'm not going to say he is the best in the pen. I'm not going to say he's the best that's alive. But I've had a lot of people try to buy him, and I've had him show up and show out, and I could not be more fortunate to have this horse in my barn. Now, like I told y'all in the beginning, this don't take away from my other little red horse that is now retired, because she give it her all, and she give me a lot of years of fun. But at some point, everybody needs a step up. And that's what this horse was to me. He was my step up, and he was my next level. So I hope you've all enjoyed this video. If you want to see more videos like this, let me know in the comments. I have got hundreds of videos of both of these horses that I can share with all of y'all. Let me know, and I can make some more videos like this.